Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next chapter, chapter 6 of Never Give Up: How to Beat Depression with Confidence, Goals, and Thinking. Becoming an awesome human being. This is the number one best-selling book in the Amazon depression category, and you're with the author being me, Gary Coach Clinton, and I'm about to read you chapter 6. Depression's not picky. Who are you? Depression doesn't care. And segue from the book, depression does not care who you are. Really and truly, you can be someone like Robin Williams, Kurt Cobain, Chester from Linkin Park, or you could be people like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And these are all people that have suffered with, and some people have passed away from depression, unaliving themselves. With that being said, my experience of depression was in chapter 1. If you want to find out a bit more about that, go to chapter 1. And that being said, the sponsor of this podcast is Upskill and Video and YouTube, should I say. Also, this episode I would recommend watching on YouTube if you're listening to it on the podcast, because there's a couple of pictures that I will be showing to the camera and they'll be coming up in a little bit. So the sponsor of the podcast and YouTube is Quazee.com, QWAZEE.com, and upskillonline.org. They are a travel website, and then also an Upskill. Upskill is a course website where you have 10 free courses on there. You need to find the courses and click the free section. Okay, with that being said, like I said, go back to the book. Leave a rating on this podcast, in fact, why not? And then also leave a like on this video or subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hope you're having a great day so far. Let's get started on this chapter 6. Depression's not picky. Who are you? Depression doesn't care. Again, I've got some photos to show you here if you're watching on YouTube at Gary Coach Clinton. Listen here, this is interesting. What makes depression really interesting? What age are you? What are you, a man or a woman? Or some other gender? That's not actually in part of my book, but when I read that, I don't think them things were as popular. Are you white or black? Are you rich or poor? Tell me an exception from depression. People that cannot be affected from it. Now, segue from the book, what I'm getting at there is any race, any gender, any person, anywhere in the world can be affected by depression. Apart from happy people. Back to the book. Apart from happy people, 1 in 6 will experience depression in their lifetime. It's 1 in 10 in Ireland. You see, depression is not picky. It doesn't have a certain agenda. It doesn't care about you. Although it makes you think it does. More on that later. This one time I knocked on my neighbor's door to check in on them, and after I said this, he mentioned, "I must have the wrong house." An interesting response to say. Segue from the book. Recently, during COVID, so it's not recently, but during COVID, I went around and I knocked on my neighbors' doors, and I asked them, "Are they okay? Are they having an okay time with depression or mental health in general?" I was literally knocked on 50 doors. 50 doors. That was my goal. I did 50 doors. Some didn't answer. Some did answer. I'm very happy I did that. That was out of my comfort zone. And this one neighbor says, "You must have the wrong house. You do not know who I am." And this made me really think that, it's a crazy sentence to say. I'm sure he's had tough times throughout his day, throughout his life. And for him to say that it was annoying. It was annoying, at least, because I was way out of my comfort zone. And this is a me thing. This isn't a him thing. I was way out of my comfort zone doing this, and I was expecting to have jolly responses. But he said it. It wasn't like, "Hey, thank you for checking in." It was like, "You must have the wrong house." Which, maybe I didn't take it as a joke because I was so pumped up on adrenaline, cortisol, and stress. And I'm a little bit more there a second ago when I said more on this later. You see, depression's not picky. It doesn't have a certain agenda. It doesn't care about you, although you think it does, although it makes itself think it does. Okay, that is very interesting. I hope I did clarify this later on in the book. If I don't, I hope I remember to tell you a bit more about that. In fact, I'll just tell you now. Depression does try to whisper in your ear that, yeah, that person doesn't want to speak to you. It will whisper in your ear that it's best not to go and talk to X, Y, and Z. It's best not to talk to your family about getting help. It whispers these things in your mind. It's a good idea to take this drink. It's a good idea to have another drug. It's a good idea to do this thing, like unalive yourself. It's a good idea to do this. The world will be better off. See, it pretends to like you. Okay, it tricks you, it tricks me, it tricks anyone. And this is the angel and devil on the shoulders. I don't care if you believe in God or not. Angel, devil, they're just an analogy. Me, myself, and I. The conscious, subconscious, unconscious, whatever ways you want to look at it, right? There's this beautiful analogy that there's an angel on one side, devil on the other side, and the devil whispers beautiful things to you, things that you want to hear, especially in times that are strange. It's times that, oh, it won't work. Don't try. Save yourself the energy. It's them type of sentences. It's them type of sentences that really hold you back. That hold anyone back. Okay, back to the book. Thanks to the Aware charity for doing great work with combating depression. As a goodwill gesture, I decided to donate 50% of the profits from this book to Aware. It is something I've been doing. It's something that's been on my mind. Also, I'd love to set up a football tournament with Aware to raise charity, but that will be outdated at some stage. I will have this accomplished by summer 2021. I'm actually reading this back now, and I realize I did do that football tournament. I did raise over €1,000 for Aware, and then €1,000 or €900 for Pt6, and that was an amazing thing. I don't know if I did it by summer 2021. I think it was that summer. Actually, I very much believe it was in that summer. And like I mentioned, 50% of the profits from this book will go to Aware as well. So Aware is definitely something charity is definitely something that I want to help them. And I've done some Aware courses, aware.ie, PA the House, and these resources I have in my school academy. I say school academy, but school. You can get a list of resources of people, helplines, and them type of things. And Aware is just another helpline for people with depression in Ireland. Okay, go back to the book. Thank you, Gary, for achieving them things, by the way. Well done, a little pat on my back. Oh, man. And thank yourself for doing good in this world, for contributing to Aware, because it's just a charity. Because it is a charity in Ireland that helps people with depression. I believe in this so much. Depression is one of the worst, most common mental illnesses in the world. And for them to combat the biggest hurdle we face in terms of mental well-being, it's a great thing. I want to be beside them, and I want to help people through depression. I'm on a mission to eradicate depression from people's lives. Even if it's just one person at a time, I'm on a mission. Fun fact for you. If you donate enough money to charity over the course of a year, you get to claim some tax credits back. Segue from the book, that is true. You do get to claim some of your money back on tax credits based off you donating to money. I think it's €250 right now as I record this to charities in Ireland, €250. Back to the book. I want you to know Aware's message is simple and effective. You know, Nike has just do it. Well, Aware's message is recovery is possible. Let that sink in. And I absolutely love this. Believe it. Believe it. If you're down in the dumps, this may be interesting to you. If not, you are into. If not, and you're into personal development, this may not be so attractive to you. Stay tuned. Have faith, I was told. It will get better. Have faith, I was told. Have faith. I'm just reading that again. That's not what I have written down in the book 3 times, but I just, isn't that a message that people do get when they're feeling depressed or down? Have faith. Have faith, it will get better. Hope for it to get better. Hope. And I think they're interesting phrases, and they're nice, but you can't sit in them forever, right? You have to take action as well. So having good faith for sure. But let's get back to the book. If you're down in the dumps and someone mentions faith, which I just did, the word feels massive. I mean, seriously, have faith. I didn't know what faith was in the middle of chaos. It was a mess. It was a mess, and faith was so far from my mind. And segue from the book again. If you're in depression right now, faith is a hard thing to comprehend. It's a hard thing to think of. Have hope. Hope is a hard thing to comprehend while you're in depression. But it's them type of sentences that are constantly fed to people struggling with depression. But the world's a mess. The world is a mess when you're struggling and depressed. So faith and hope is far from your mind. Believe in yourself. What? Back to the book. By the way, believe in yourself. What? I've just managed to mangle myself with weeks and months of bad decisions to put me into a dark hole, and you're telling me to believe in myself. And again, take away from the book, this is a very interesting thing, is where if we constantly make bad decisions, we're going to feel depressed, and therefore now you're telling me to believe in myself, but I've got a whole backlog of reasons to why I'm depressed, and also why I'm a quote-unquote bad or not sufficient human being, and therefore I'm in a hole. And when I'm in a hole, you telling me to believe myself. In fact, I've just, over the last 6 months of making bad decisions, I've come to the conclusion that I don't believe in myself, and now you're telling me to believe in myself, to have faith in myself, to have hope. Yeah? And these phrases get thrown out when people want to have and recover from depression. Okay, I can't, back to book, I can't comprehend how to believe in myself. I can't comprehend how much these words felt like the biggest hurdle I've ever had to face. I mean, where are they? Is it a physical thing? Could I feel belief? What is it to believe? I had no notion. These words didn't resonate me. These words didn't resonate with me. When I was down in the dumps, they were massive words. On reflection, thank goodness they were massive. I feel like I believe in myself now. I feel like I have faith in life being awesome and amazing, which I believe to be true. I'm going to show you the first photo now in a moment. And if you're on podcast, jump onto YouTube at garycoachclinton and then click subscribe while you're on there as well. That'd be very much appreciated. Back to the book. Don't be discouraged by these words. Embrace them. Light them up. Might I add a small paragraph on faith and fear? I'll let your mind ponder with this. This is just something I've heard of, and it made me stop for a second and think for a little bit longer. Fear. False evidence appearing real. FEA, or false evidence appearing real. So if you feel fear, which is normal, especially if you're up at 30 feet on a diving board for the first time, and you might have faith that it will be all right when you hit the water, right? So both are not material things. Why let fear rule over your life? Why not have faith in the fear? Faith in the fear that it will work out. Why not? Just do it. Nice little tick as well there. I mean, this will resonate with you. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not in 2 years, or maybe in 2 years. It will depend on your level of your life. And segue from the book, level of your life is a very interesting thing. Your current level of awareness is your current level of awareness. You are unaware to trillions of things. I'm unaware to trillions of things. So my extensive amount of knowledge has brought me to this level, to this awareness, to this understanding of life, this comprehension. And to other people, especially people in depression, a lot of this stuff gets wiped out, or at least thrown into the fog. I mean, that's what people describe depression as well. It's a fog. It's a big mess, basically, in many ways. And a lot of your ideas and good things get thrown off. Right. Here's the first picture I'm going to show you, and it's this. Now, this is an old photo from Voyager 1 or Voyager 2. I'm not sure. I think it's Voyager 1, and it's obviously black and white on this, but you can search up the blue dot. And you can search up the blue dot on Google, YouTube, Facebook, and the blue dot is just a picture of Voyager 1. It turned around and it took a picture of Earth. And it's just called the blue dot because it's one speck of dust. And that's literally what it's coined as, a speck of dust. And let me read on here, because actually the book leans into what I'm about to talk about. And anyways, can you recover from depression? In my eyes, yes. If anything is possible, recovery is possible. Let's get very Aristotle here. If Earth is where all mankind has existed, which is on this blue dot, again, the blue dot, where all of mankind have existed, literally. The photo was taken by NASA in 1990, 4 billion miles away. Voyager 1 right now, 30 years on plus, is about to escape our solar system, which is a bit of a crazy thought to think how big the solar system is. That's my current knowledge, by the way. That's my current level of awareness. Yeah, I don't know if that's true, but that's what I've heard. Okay. Then all we have to do, then back to the book, all and we've ever known is on this blue dot. The blue dot holds all the one-cell organisms, all the two cells, all the plants, all the past, all the present antique animals, present water animals, all the dinosaurs, all the jungle creatures, all the wild animals, all the chimps, all the mums, all the dads, all the people you've ever seen, all the clouds you've ever seen, all the dictators, all the Nazis, all the Hitlers. This blue dot has held every single one of those things. Take a deep breath and be grateful that you are alive. And be alive at the same time as you and me. I'm going to put the book down for a second. I really appreciate this moment with you here. You're listening to this podcast and you could be doing anything else in the world right now. anything else in the world right now. And I'm very grateful that you're listening to this podcast and me talking about the big blue dot there. Me and you are sharing this planet at this same time. You have ears to listen to me. I have eyes and I have a vocal cord to speak to you. It's absolutely beautiful. And it can really bring a tear to your eye, and it can bring a tear to my eye pretty easily. It's fascinating. Your partners, every cloud, every tree, every branch you've seen on this planet, every single piece of history, business, understanding, philosophy, consciousness, it's all on this planet. Everything we know is on this planet and started from here and grew out. Absolutely fantastic. I'm no Socrates, back to the book. Another picture coming up here in a second. There is an estimated 40 billion Earth-like planets in the habitable zone in our galaxy alone. Right? 40 billion Earth-like planets in the Milky Way. Think of that for a second. That's just outrageous. I'll show you the photo now. Right? The photo is this. And the photo is a picture of... I actually think it's a fake photo, but it could be a very real photo. And the photo is galaxies. And the galaxies are... the Andromeda Galaxy, the Galaxy 157b, T, C, or Q, all the letters they have for all the galaxies out there. They have, it's just a picture of a galaxy. And if there's 40 billion Earth-like galaxies in the Milky Way, how many planets is in that one, in that one, in that one, in that one, in that one? And there could be more in bigger galaxies. Our galaxy, I believe, is relatively small in many ways. Now, I say this, by the way, keep segue from the book, because when I say this, there's two ways you can look at this, and there's two sides of this coin when we think of there's unlimited planets out there, there's unlimited galaxies, right? It's infinite long. There's two ways you can look at this, and one way you can look at it is going, this is the worst thing in the world, nothing matters. And the other side of the coin is that everything matters, and you get to choose and decide that. Now, it's not going to be an instant choice, but it's going to be a collection of beliefs, paradigms, ideas that are going to come forward, and therefore now you have an idea that everything matters. See, there's a thing called butterfly effect. And when we talk about butterfly effect, the small thing, you get a cup of coffee in the morning, makes you feel better, so therefore you perform better on a Zoom call with your manager, and then you get a promotion. Yeah. Or you take a different turn, or you take a right-hand turn in the building, and what happens? You meet your love of your life, and you never usually go the right-hand turn, you go straight. It is the butterfly effect. And it's a fascinating thing that nothing matters, but everything matters. And you get to choose that. And my purpose when I was depressed, seeing these type of things, I was all into the universe. That's all I was searching, really, in the universe and planets. And, I had a quite nihilistic view of life. And you can still do that. But highly intellectual people, I believe, are very nihilistic in terms, maybe not nihilistic, but they're very, they're so intellectual that they don't think that there is anything to it. They've got too much understandings, too much belief, and they might be completely wrong, which is a hilarious thought. They might be completely wrong. The hyper-intellects who are very sophisticated and smart, but seemingly depressed because they've got all this input and knowledge. And you get to determine if you're going to be happy or sad. And that's based off your paradigms, which is a collection of ideas, beliefs. I love the fact that thought there, that, hyper-intellectual who was, got a strange view on life and dealing objective facts and science in itself could be a flawed category. We might be measuring the wrong things of the wrong category, right? It's good that we have, an understanding of what science is, and things are very useful, of course, and we've gained value from it. But to put all of our chips in it doesn't seem to be a logical place. But people are so down to the T's and the I's that makes them feel bad, because in 40 billion years, the planet's still going to be here, but we aren't going to be here. And that thought itself could make you feel depressed, down. But that shouldn't be the thought. If you get 80 years, if you get 95 years, 100 years of your life, what if do you want to feel depressed during that time? It's like there's a movie going on. You are a part of the movie. Do you want the movie to be a terrible movie? Do you want the movie to be absolutely black and white, cloudy every day? Or do you want this movie to be a beautiful, amazing comeback story? And we love a comeback story. Rocky's an incredible movie. We love a comeback story, and you can be the person that makes a comeback. And that thought made me incredible. I wanted to come back. The comeback story is the story that we love. I made a comeback, and you can make a comeback too. I feel excited right now about my comeback, and I hope you can too. Let's get back to the book. I'm no Socrates. There's an estimated 40 billion Earth-like planets in the habitable zone in our galaxy alone. I heard there's 100 billion galaxies in the universe, and possibly 200 billion. That means 40 billion times 100 billion. Now I have a figure on my screen there, but I can't actually describe. I can't actually show you how long that figure is. That if you're looking at that figure right there, that is how many possible Earth-like planets are there. Earth-like planets in the galaxy. All right, so we're talking about depression here, and if we're talking about depression, you want to feel a certain way for the rest of your life, you can do that, or you can go, well, this is absolutely blessed, grateful, and we want to move in towards this. We can't just do it right now, but we want to move towards a place of this is, this is one shot. That person who cheated on me, that person who had a terrible life, that person who done me wrong, that person I done wrong, or that life, that moment, that thing, that people are going to pass away. You're going to pass away at some stage, and this can actually, this thought process of like, you're only here for 100 years can reduce so much crap in your mind. And what I mean by that is insecurities, fears, doubts, upsets, pains. It's not gonna eliminate everything, and you're gonna forget this thing of, oh, we're here for a couple of days and a couple of years in a life. You're gonna forget it. But if you really have a deep understanding of it, or it's a deep rooted belief, yeah, you can really have a different perspective on life altogether. Let's go back to the book after. I don't know how to pronounce how many figures that is. It's about 40 billion times 100 billion is 4 with like 10 series of zeros behind it. 10 3 zeros, like 30 zeros. I don't know what that number is in layman's terms, plain English. A lot. A goggle or something. A Google. Yeah. And I want you to know this. This is amazing. Again, going back to the mindset segue from the book. That is this amazing to you, or is this devastating? Is this amazing, or is this the worst thing in the world? Is this fascinating that there is 40 goggles, whatever freaking words they're using out there to express certain words like that, certain numbers like that? Is that sad news or great news to you? You get to choose that, all right? You do. And your mind, again, might whisper in the back of your mind, oh, it's again where depression's loving, it's loving you. Enjoy the negative. Enjoy the sad one. Look, it's okay to think it's bad because it's gonna die, and that's depressing news. So we might as well stay depressed now. 40 Googles the amount of Earth-like planets out there. Why on this planet do we need to suffer for a certain amount of time? I mean, I'm such a big believer in you're at 98% of your life controlling your mental state. Right? Okay. This is amazing. Back to the book. I'm grateful for you to be here now. I also want you to think and imagine that there are no limits. I want you to think that there are other blue dots in our galaxy, which are more than a billion, which there's more than billions just in our Milky Way. I want you to look at this picture and think of millions and billions of galaxies. And in them are blue-like dots, like Earth, which maybe there are trillions and trillions of planets out there. So again, it's looking at that picture where there's unlimited galaxies out there, and then there's gazillions of Earth-like planets in those galaxies. Picture taken by NASA in 2013 from the Hubble telescope. Just imagine there's another Earth-like planet out there. Think of all the possible outcomes for life. As the imagination goes, life as we know it on this Earth, thanks to people like David Attenborough and you and your ability to view it, this is what we're used to. Now let's go to another galaxy. Imagine another creature, something like the size of an Earth on a planet that is on a 5 million times the size of Earth. And this, a segue from the book, this thought is very fascinating to me. Think of a creature that is the size of Earth on a planet that is like 5 billion times the size of Earth. And there isn't, that isn't a crazy thing, right? Because there's actually stars out there, and I've seen a comparison star video where it starts off Earth, the sun. And I can't express to you how big them suns can get. So to think that there is a creature out there, a creature, a worm, a slug, a human that is the size, words won't even describe, an alien, that is the size of an Earth on a planet that is size of 5,000 times the size of Earth. It's unbelievable the size and scales that we have in the universe. It's beautiful. It's fascinating. It's actually it's a roller coaster in itself. But it's not fascinating if you're in a mindset that this is the worst thing ever. That's terrible. That's crazy. I'll never get to meet them. I'll never get to see them. I can't imagine them. You've got to be in a mindset this is a fascinating thought. And you can create up your own thing. You can think we're in a BFG, a big friendly giant. We're in a giant's pocket right now. You know, he's got a little globe, you know, one of those snow globes. Yeah, he's got a big snow globe, and this is our universe. And we're just sitting in his pocket in his shirt. Or I mean, you know, he takes it out, he shows a friend the universe, and we're just in the universe, living our life, not knowing anything. And if we go down to a molecular, I don't know how to say it, but if we go down to a level where there's like bacteria, they're living a whole different universe altogether as well, right? So there's got to be something, I believe at least, that there's a next level, we could say a fourth dimension to it. It's a fascinating life, it really is. And I think this is why I talk about faith, belief, understanding during this episode, during this chapter. So let's get back to the book. I believe that animals, creatures, life to be out there. So I can assure you that when you have depression, it seems like the worst thing ever. But let's imagine some sort of different creature that is the type of spirit. And let's call it the depression spirit. Remember it as the depression spirit. It may seem there is no way back. It may have a grip on you and make you feel like you're worthless. It's a dark spirit and it has you. It's a dark spirit that has you and makes you live in a dark room. It takes your voice and influences your thoughts. Makes you feel scared to go outside for a walk with your dog like it did to me. It makes you think that other people are out to get you when it's the only thing that's out to get you. You think and eventually give in to doing dark things. It robs your able body. It makes you feel bad about yourself. And you feel tired all the time. It makes you want to do nasty stuff like unalive yourself or shoot up places that are bad. It paralyzes you. It drags you down. It makes you shy. It makes you uncomfortable. It makes you fight. It makes you have a war. It makes life seem like a battle to the death. Depression ruins life. Depression ruins your life if you let it infect you for too long. Depression holds you back from having fun and seeing the world for what it truly is. An awe-inspiring and amazing thing. And a segue from the book, just like I just showed you the pictures there a moment ago. It is a fascinating concept when you can get your imagination into a place of fascination instead of a place of darkness and depression and doom. And you are in control of your imagination. You really are. You get to dictate where the imagination goes. And for example, I'll tell you an interesting story here, segue from the book. I had a little a predicament in my mind a while ago. So it's imagination. I don't know what the exact situation was, but it was like in my mind, I needed to pin down something. I needed to pin down an idea or something. But then the imagination would then go, get up. It would like get the idea. It would let the idea out. So I'm trying to pin this down, like holding it like a ball, right? I'm trying to hold this idea down. Then my imagination would let it get up. And then I'd hold it down and it'd let it get up, right? So I was battling against my own imagination, but then I let it go. And what I mean by let it go is I went to a place where I put it down, I pinned it down, and I accepted. I was happy. I closed the mind. Even if it whispered back in the back of my mind, hey, you got up again, I let it go, right? Because I wasn't struggling, I wasn't fighting with it. I knew where I stood. I don't need that other external validation or other external thought process to come in and challenge my imagination. I accepted that was the situation where I simply pinned it down and I was sorted. And what I'm saying for you is that depression holds you back from having it and seeing the world for what it truly is, awe-inspiring and as amazing. Now, is it awe-inspiring and as amazing? Yes, but is it also dark depression, helpless, crazy, disastrous? It is, yes. You get to choose where you put your focus. And you have to accept that things are disastrous, dark, depressing across the board. There's evil in the world. You have to accept that. But for you to add on or be part of that is not going to help the world in the greater good. It's not. Even though the whisper of the thought will be, oh, it is for the greater world. You know, doing this awful thing for the world is going to be a good thing. It's not. Go back to the world. Go back to the book. You are amazing. You are awesome. You're alive. You're not your depression. You're being held back from going forward in your life. And how long can you feel down for? How long can you have this battle for? Why is it a battle? Why isn't it a playground? What makes life so hard? Where did I go wrong? What's next? These are questions people ask. Questions. Questions can help you very much. But if you ask a stupid question, you're going to get a stupid answer. Am I depressed? Yes or no? Bad question. What is making me depressed? Good question. And hey, step out into the light and find out the answer. Get the answer for the latter question. The latter question being, what is making me depressed? You can have a list of things that are holding you back and not serving you, not bettering you. You can track your every hour, how you were feeling in the last hour, or what actions you took in the last hour. Give yourself a score out of 10, okay? What have I done in the last hour that makes me feel this way, or makes me this way? Good or bad? Nobody said it'd be easy. Nobody mentioned that life was a walk in the park, a stroll in the sun with good music on. And segue from the book real quick. Is life a battle to you? Is life hard? Is life a torture? Is life a thing that is ruthless? And we can all say yes to all of them things. But is life amazing? Is life awesome? Or is life awe-inspiring? Is life inspiring? Is life fulfilling? And the answer to them things is yes. So which one do you want to have as a core belief inside of yourself? And belief is a word I don't really like too much because it's a wishy-washy word. Faith is another kind of wishy-washy word, but they're very powerful words. You can't see them. Fear is another wishy-washy word, but we can feel it. And we can feel faith and we can feel belief. But we're not going to feel them as strong as those negative emotions like anxiety, depression, or fear. But we can feel fear faith as a subtle thing. So life is not only a battle, which it can be, or you can see it that way, but life is a walk on a playground, or a park, or if you don't want to go playground. It's a stroll in the park with good music on. It is that as well. This is an amazing opportunity for you to enjoy such a fulfilling life. This is truly the opportunity to enjoy that. And let's go back to the book. Do you ever just dance alone? Yeah? You remember like jamming out to your favorite song and enjoying the heck out of it? Yeah. So now, I want you to remember that moment because when you thought someone was watching you, because that happens, right? Possibly a family member, a neighbor, someone, sometimes you have feelings of your eyes, and this led you to stop jamming and be more curious about where the eyes are. And ultimately it ruined your fun. Don't you see that there often ends up being no one to ruin your fun? I would see it as a spirit, the depression spirit. I would like to point out to you that you're the one who's losing out here. You're not bouncing around and breaking out on the dance floor sitting room anymore. I want you to see that the spirit has talked you out of jamming out. Segue from the book. Common thought, common thing. It's like if you put your phone up when you're walking outside, you put your phone up, yeah? What's that whisper in the back of your mind? If you put your phone up to take a selfie while you're walking on the street, your mind just starts to go, you're crazy, people are looking at you, and then you put the phone away, right? If you're jamming out in your kitchen, your dance floor, or your room, or your house, or anywhere, you have a whisper in the back of your mind, what if this person sees you? What if that happens? Then we stop. What I help people with, particularly around, depression coaching, is this thought. It's not this thought, but what it is getting to a mental place, getting on top of these things. It's when you put your phone up, recognizing that that's going to come up, recognizing that thought is going to persist itself. And knowing that it's going to come up gives you a major advantage. Because if you didn't know it was going to come up, you would actually you would keep stopping. If you were kept being surprised by the fact that you're going to have this thought in the back of your mind that I don't want to put my phone up, so you're not going to put your phone up. For example, another example, should I say, if you have an audition coming up, and I mean an audition being anything, right? If you're going to do something for the first time, if you recognize that the first time you do it, you're going to feel fear. Now, that thought process alone can help you do the thing, because you recognize that your fear is going to come, anxiety is going to come, and therefore we can accept it when it comes up, compared to this is going to be terrible. So if I can help people when they're struggling with depression, recognize that when they lie in bed for 8 hours a day, they are obviously going to feel depressed. Obviously. The demons, the curtains, the walls, the shadows are all talking to you. It's not hard. Progression is doing something and then feeling good. It's not before feeling good and then doing it, right? We need to do something, then we feel good. Yeah. Regression is where we wait to feel good, which just means you're falling backwards. Okay. So it's getting on top of these ideas, and these ideas are things that always come up. For example, you take up your phone, you put it up, the whisper of, you're looking crazy with your phone out. This is a common thought. If we can get on top of it, recognize it's always going to come up, we can feel confident about it next time, and we can stamp on it. We can rationalize it. We can understand it. We can deal with it. Back to the book. I want to see that dark room might invite a dark spirit. I want you to see that the dark room might invite a dark spirit. If you hang around a dark spirit, you believe the bullshit it says. I mean, you hear it whisper behind your back, saying you were tired when you're a couple minutes previously you had energy. But when you leave it pulls you back to the pits. So what I'm saying there is, it's a common thing with people who are depressed. They say, they segue from the book, they say, I don't have energy. But 10 minutes ago, they were bursting of energy. And now they don't want to do anything. Not that I don't have energy, or they're tired, they don't want to do anything. And they don't want to do anything because that's a normal symptom of depression. You don't want to do anything. And therefore, a cover story for that is they're tired, which is not that they're tired, they just don't want to do it. And I'm thinking of another story that I can use to help you out here as well. It's, when you're a kid and you're going on a school trip. Yeah, I don't know if this is the same rationale for this, but if you stayed up all night, and then you've got a school trip in the morning, you're going to be excited. So it's not a matter of, I'm tired. It's a matter of what's coming, what's next, what have you got on your agenda that you could feel excited for. If you're going on holidays, can you imagine Christmases? Yeah, you can feel this bubble inside of you, but that's because you've got something to come. You're coming into something. You're doing something. Something's happening in a little bit. Yeah. So if you're depressed, 9 times out of 10, I would look at someone and they say they don't have anything going on in their life. Yeah, they're taking away everything instead of adding on things. Yeah, and there's another common thing of where, we remove everything to save ourselves, to have an easier life when that's actually harder. Okay, going on to the next little part of the book. I think we've got half a page left, maybe just over half a page left in this chapter. Okay, so where are we? I think we talk unconsciously to the spirit. Whenever we're not consciously thinking, I want you to know that being in a dark room, not moving outside, not seeing nature, can have a massive effect on your well-being. You hear the experts say go outside and exercise, and I'll back this point. I recommend leaving this old friend, getting it out of your room. It's no good and doesn't deserve you. You're much better. You're amazing. It's the opposite of you. Heck, in all honesty, if you can change, it will change. If you change, it will change. It might always be there, but I tell you, I want the spirit that wants to dance with me. It wants to bounce around and have fun. The spirit that is like, work out, but we still go and make it happen. You've heard the saying, it's you versus you. And if you are against you, then you could become overpowered and give in to doing these things that you shouldn't do, as it's easier. Oh, Jesus, here's a great story for you. Segue from the book. I was talking to my sister's boyfriend, and my sister's boyfriend, I asked him a beautiful question. Why do people not do what they know they should do? For example, we know we should, drink a certain amount of water a day. We know we should not smoke. We know we should not drink alcohol. We know we should exercise. We know we should get 10,000 steps a day. We know we should do all these things. We don't do them, right? And he answered gratefully, great, should I say, and gratefully. He said, we do things because we have pleasure. And this is correct. But the extension of this was something I had a thought to myself of. Think of the world and how it's set up. We praise actors, A-list celebrities, which is pleasure. We get pleasure from them. We don't praise people like mechanics who do hard jobs. We don't praise people like doctors who do hard things. We don't praise people maybe who do incredible things for society. I don't know, like them things, doctors and mechanics. We don't praise them because they're quote unquote hard. Think of how humanity is designed for pleasure. So naturally, you're going to fall into traps of, having an extra smoke, which I don't smoke, by the way. I'm just saying that's an option. Having an extra smoke for more fun, having an extra coffee for more fun, having a extra food or dessert, or having, takeaway compared to making food, right? We've got such desire for pleasure as a species that it makes sense that you can fall into traps. And this helped me get on top of something. And what I got on top of, just like I talked about, if you can have a different understanding of something, you can get on top of it. What I got on top of there is that it is okay to have a cheesecake. It's okay not to do the extra run or go the extra mile, but it's not great. And what I mean by that is don't do it every day. Yeah, do it once a month. Slip up. It's okay to slip up, right? And that's basically, maybe that's more of what I wanted to get on top of, is instead of beating yourself up so badly that you didn't do it perfectly, or you didn't do great, that it's actually kind of okay. It's okay to realize that life is designed for pleasure based off A-list celebrities, movies, football. This is another example. Football, right? Football, we're praising footballers, which is a thing. I love football. I want to support footballers with depression, but we idolize this. That is not something I believe we should idolize compared to stuff like mechanics, doctors, some politicians, and serious debates or conversations around, making the world a better place in that regard. And these are some things I got on top of over the past little bit. Getting on top of them things is life is designed for pleasure. And we're going to fall into them traps. So here we go. We've got a couple more lines left in this chapter. And before I do that, let me tell you about the sponsors, quasi.com, upskillonline.org. Go check out the YouTube channel. Join the school community, the Bulletproof Depression Support Community for Men. You'll be able to find some good resources in there. Creating an amazing course. And an amazing course that if you don't get out of depression, I will give you your money back. Yeah, if you don't get out of your depression, I promise you to give you your money back. It's a guarantee that I promise. Okay, so here we go. Back to the book. Okay, you've heard the saying, it's always you versus you. It's if you are against you, then you can become overpowered and give in to the things you shouldn't do, as it's easier. But I'm here to tell you, it can be you and you, not you versus you. It can be you working with you for a bigger cause. A reason not to fight. A reason to enjoy life. A reason to believe that anything is possible. If the multiverse theory is true, then by God anything's possible. And that's true. If there is unlimited universes, then there's all possibilities, all avenues. I've just had a heart attack in a different universe, and therefore I did get to upload the video. Well, so that means anything is possible. Therefore, in this reality, you get to choose your free will, which is a great thing. Okay. I mean, how can you say it's not? I've actually not heard anyone say anything's not possible. But I just want to drill anything is possible into your mind, because if it is true, then you believe anything is possible. So in return, recovery is possible. Segue from the book, what I'm getting at there is, if you just have an onset or a mindset that anything is possible, that opens doors rather than closing them. If you don't think something's possible, you will feel dark, depressed. If this is open, anything is possible, you will enjoy. Yeah, you will enjoy a variety of beliefs. Life is fruitful because it's possible. Life is amazing because it's possible. There is creatures that are the size of the earth. God is a mystical, or in every atom of oxygen right now in front of us. The universe is inside of us, living inside of us. Consciousness is XYZ. All the theories become possible, which is a beautiful thing compared to life is terrible, which is not. It's not. And I hope in this episode you've gained some valuable insights. Depression is not picky. Depression is not being picky. You get to have an outlook from your paradigm of beliefs, cultures, environments, friends, social networks. All them things play a factor on who you are and what you see on your life. But you are the determining factor of putting yourself in them environments, them social connections, them words you speak, them thoughts you think. You are, wherever you go, there you are. Right. I hope this episode has been very impactful and helpful for you. My name is Gary Coach Clinton. In the next episode, we're going to chapter 8, or chapter 7, I believe, in fact. And I look forward, chapter 7, I look forward to seeing you in that. Have a beautiful, blessed day. Join the school community, bulletproof depression support for men. Leave a rating on the podcast. That would be very much appreciated. And then go on to YouTube and hit the subscribe button. I'd appreciate that too. God bless. Have an amazing day. I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks.